What exactly is chocolate paste made of? How's Coke different from Pepsi? And does Colonel Sanders' secret recipe really exist? Today you'll find out the answers to these questions. This is Infinity, and in this episode I'll tell you about the food production that will amaze you. Let's go. Chocolate paste. Do you want to know what's used to make the legendary chocolate paste? Nutella hazelnut spread is an amazing product that's gained incredible fame around the world. Several decades have passed since it was first made by the Italian company Ferrero Rocher, and the product has become a social and cultural phenomenon in many countries. The name of this hazelnut spread has long been a household name, even though there are many other pastes on the market today. Many people still believe that Nutella is just nuts and chocolate thrown into a huge mixer in equal proportions. In reality, however, the process of making the spread is much more complex. The capacity of a single paste production machine is 50 kilograms per hour. The exact composition of the famous Nutella is a trade secret of its manufacturer. The packaging indicates that the spread contains hazelnuts, skimmed milk powder, skimmed cocoa, palm oil, sugar, whey powder, lactose, soy lecithin, and vanilla flavoring. However, the exact dosage and even the composition of the spread itself vary depending on the country where it's produced. In Italy, for example, the sugar content of the spread is less than in France. And in the US, Canada, Mexico, Ukraine, and Russia, palm oil is used instead of vegetable oil. By the way, it's in Italy, the motherland of the hazelnut spread, where it's most loved. The real boom in soda popularity began in the last century, but sales are only increasing year by year. In 2003, 195 billion liters of carbonated drinks were sold worldwide, which is about 30 liters for each person living on the planet. It's not difficult to guess which particular soda is the most popular. Hint, this drink is officially sold in every country in the world except Cuba and North Korea. And 94% of all people on the planet have heard of it at least once. Of course, it's Coca-Cola. A large part of Coca-Cola is water, and it's its quality that largely determines the taste of the drink. To make sure the taste is the same all over the world, the water at all plants is brought to the same quality standard. In the water treatment shop, it goes through a complicated multi-stage purification system. It's purified from chlorine with carbon filters and decontaminated with ultraviolet. Then the water's mixed with syrup. The latter is made from sugar, but it has no taste of Coke yet. In the next step, the base of Coke is added to the simple syrup. It gives the drink its taste, color, and smell. There are only a few plants in the world that make the base of the drink. They're in the United States, Puerto Rico, France, and Ireland. Of course, the base is not everything. To complete the production of Coca-Cola, you need caramel dye, hence the black color of Coke, atmospheric acid, caffeine, and aromatic additives, vanilla, cinnamon, and cocoa leaf extract. By the way, the main competitor of Coke, Pepsi, is produced in a similar way. Still, there is a difference in production. Pepsi consists of water, syrup, and carbon dioxide. The water is extracted from the plant's artesian wells, which are between 125 and 180 meters deep. The water goes through several stages of purification before reaching the production facility. The syrup is produced in the blending room. A large part of its composition is sugar. The dark brown color of the drink is given by the sugar coloring, which is marked on the label as E150A coloring. There's a slight difference in taste between Coca-Cola and Pepsi, but can you tell the difference between a European donut and an American donut at first glance? In fact, it's not as difficult as you might think because they're produced differently. Stay tuned to find out all the details, as well as to see the production of other products that will surprise you. Let's move on. Donuts. Did you know that the first donuts were strikingly different from what we're used to seeing today? When immigrants from Denmark brought the donut recipe with them to America, the dainty was round and without holes. These days, many countries have developed their own take on the traditional recipe. Which one's better? It's up to you to decide, but the most popular in the world today are considered three main types. The traditional donut is a golden ball. This donut has a ring shape. Such donuts are cooked in large quantities of oil and served hot. The second type is the German donut, also known as the Berliner. This is a European donut which is especially popular in Austria and Germany. It's made from sweet yeast dough by deep frying it on both sides. The confectioners flip the dainty in the process. The result is a light streak around the circumference. Berliners are usually filled with confit or cream and sprinkled with powdered sugar and icing on top. And finally, the most frequently mentioned in the media, a donut. This is an American donut that has the famous ring shape. Donuts are fried by dipping them into a deep fryer. Like Berliners, they're often made with a variety of fillings: jam, custard cream, or protein cream, and topped with icing or sprinkled with powdered sugar, nuts, and coconut shavings. At first glance, the recipes for making both traditional donuts and American donuts are quite simple. The first thing to do is to sift the flour to remove impurities, loosen it, and oxygenate it. This is followed by the process of kneading the dough. For baking donuts, special automated equipment is usually used, which include a dough mixing machine, deep fryers with built-in cupboards, a division and rounding machine, toppings dispensers, a mixer, and a glazing machine. Nowadays, large plants automate their production almost completely, and each complete line has a production capacity of 700 to 800 donuts per hour. What brand do you think of when you think of fried chicken? Most of you won't take a long time to think and say KFC. The menu at this fast food restaurant offers chicken in every conceivable way, from wings to shanks to strips and burgers. But what's the flavor profile of the KFC chicken? Legend has it that it's all about Colonel Sanders, who first came up with the idea of roasting chicken in a mixture of 11 herbs and spices. These spices and herbs are made in 2 different plants, and a third plant mixes them together. Only a few people at the top of the company that owns the KFC brand know the original and exact recipe. It's one of the biggest culinary secrets these days. There are publications that say the KFC secret is very simple: salt, black pepper, and a flavor enhancer add flavor. After all, no one is stopping us from taking the chicken apart and finding out its chemical composition. We all have an approximate idea of what a mixture of 11 herbs and spices might look like. Surely there must be at least some color in it, especially considering the fact that the composition is not without several types of peppers. But does this white powder look anything like a mixture of herbs? Of course, the workers don't know Colonel Sanders' secret, but it's not much of a secret either. What do you think? Does that secret mixture of 11 herbs and spices still exist? Twix. The next product in this episode can probably be considered a marketing triumph. The legend for these chocolate bars was created for so long time and so carefully that many people actually believe that the left and right Twix sticks are made in different factories. According to the legend of advertisers, this is because during the release of the first batch of chocolate bars, its creators, 2 brothers, quarreled with each other and broke the bar into 2 parts. Of course, this is nothing more than an amusing legend. In reality, the Mars Company did not dare to expand its assortment at once. Founded in 1911, it first gained popularity due to Snickers and Milky Way, and for a long time hesitated to expand the range and experiment with flavors. It wasn't until 1967 that the Mars Company released a new product that became no less iconic. It was Twix. Of course, the composition and recipe varied and changed, and different flavors were produced, but the basic ingredients remain unchanged to this day. The very first chocolate bars were very different from what we now know. It's not only about the colorful, stylish, and practical packaging, which keeps Twix fresh at room temperature for 7 months, but also about the composition and appearance of the dainty. The most important difference is that originally it was just a shortbread cookie with caramel. They started covering it with chocolate later. Now, Twix consists of 3 key ingredients: cookies, milk chocolate, and caramel. The composition of each individual ingredient differs little from that of other sweets. If you believe the producers, you'll not find any dangerous or overly harmful components in its composition because the Mars Company has decided to exclude preservatives and chemical dyes. However, I don't recommend eating too many Twix chocolate bars. It's important to remember that 100 grams of Twix is almost 65 grams of carbohydrates, 50 grams of which is pure sugar. M&M's. Production begins with the kneading of chocolate. As with many other well-known products, the exact composition of these chocolates is kept a closely guarded secret. To give the chocolate's mass the desired shape, it's heated to the desired temperature and then divided into tiny portions. The resulting chocolate blobs are then moved through cooling tunnels before being coated in a colorful glaze. The icing process is the longest, since bright color is considered the candy's main feature. Approximately the same way the chocolates with nuts inside are made. For this purpose, the factories have a special workshop where the imported nuts are roasted and then covered with chocolate in several layers. The M&M's chocolates of each color are made separately, and before they go into the pack, the multicolored draggies are mixed together. Urban legend says that there can be more than one color in a pack, but this is just legend. The color ratio from pack to pack is pretty much the same. That's all, guys. Have you ever been to some factory? Let me know in the comments section down below. Thanks for watching, and see you later.